Hello. Welcome back to Champions League. We have an interesting matchup here today as it is the 3 seed taking on the taking on the 1 seed. Definitely an interesting one here today as these teams fighting for redemption after uh, some unfortunate losses. And it's going to be interesting to see if either of these teams can bounce back, as neither of them are in the position they want to be in. Just a reminder of where we're looking at right now is we're sitting in the lower round two. Keep in mind, Galactic were swept by Lethal Synergy, but the match was called back due to Alphaba and Glinda breaking rules, and then deciding to quit. And so it's obviously a weird situation. With Galactic still being in the tournament, but a shot at redemption for them. And just a reminder, the winner goes on to play Lone Star Velocity and secures a spot in top 4. It's going to be Flix, Nobody, and Scrub versus Swish, Fluffy, and Zohan. And it's definitely going to be a banger of a series tonight. Hopefully we can see Galactic back in form. But we haven't really seen the Galactic that we saw all season long since kind of the end of the regular season. I mean, even they stumbled against Rebellion, and so it was it's been skeptical for Galactic, and obviously, we're going to hope that they can bounce back here in this one. Welcome in, Jose and Mist. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. But obviously, going to need to see a bounce back from these players. And just a reminder on how we got here. Galactic finished the regular season at 7-2 with only losses to SG and Lethal. But the thing is, they never actually played SG. They played them in week 1, but they had a forfeit to them. So we haven't actually seen Galactic go against SG, and maybe now is as best a time as ever to pull off an upset if there ever was one, because of the fact that SG just played a relatively weak series compared to what we'd expect from them. And so definitely gotta see a bounce back from SG Esports if they're going to move on in the bracket. And again, just a reminder, Tier 1 versus Most Hated will occur Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Zog, welcome in. Love to have you here, homie. Always love you guys stopping by. We really appreciate it. It helps get Champions League, the name of Champions League out there, can help bring in new players, helps esports organizations partner with us, and so much more. It can lead to paid opportunities when you guys are here. So we really appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. And yeah, obviously SG and Galactic, not where they thought they would be. And it's not the matchup you want if you're a Galactic. You did not expect to see SG down here. I don't think anybody did unless you're tier 1. And now Lone Star Velocity wait in the wings for the lower semifinal. And just a reminder of how punishing it is to go through the lower bracket. The lower semifinal and the lower final will be played in the same week. So those games, you need to play them back to back almost. And so obviously not what any team would want to have to do here is play this from behind. But hello, everybody. It is me, your caster Shadow Dweller. We've got an interesting match here today. Now, the predictions from the rankings committee were heavily favoring SG. I think the only one favoring Galactic was Swish making a troll pick against his own team. We will pull that up now. Just a reminder, we post predictions in the predictions channel. But Yubo predicted it at 3-0 for SG. Shadow predicted it 3-0 for SG. Mist said it's a 3-2 for SG. Cubs says 3-1 for SG. And Daniel says 3-0 for SG. So Swish originally also predicted a 3-1. And so it's not looking to be in Galactic's favor as we get ready for this one. And obviously, hopefully we can see them bounce back. I mean, obviously things didn't go their way against Lethal Synergy, and they're back in it again. If you missed it, and they're back because Lethal Synergy broke the rules and their players quit when they were going to be punished. So Galactic get a third life here in the playoffs. And ladies and gentlemen, as we will get this one underway, we will get into it here. We have SG Esports versus Galactic, the 1 seed versus the 3 seed, with a spot for top 4 on the line, as Galactic look to play with their third life and look to keep it going. But for the side of SG, you're looking for a redemption story after falling to tier 1. It's game 1 here at Champions League. I almost said Champions Field. Holy. As we see Galactic, you gotta wonder if they've been practicing as a team or not. And for SG, the player to watch is my key player is Fluffy, and nobody is going to be a key player to watch for Galactic as well. For the side of SG and Galactic, the players that have struggled throughout playoffs for them are Fluffy and nobody. I think those guys have had a rough playoff, so obviously gonna look for a bounce back from them. And we know that both of these players are such good players. These players should not be scoffed at in any way, shape, or form, as they are so good. But speaking of good, Flix is really good, as he will score this one. Zog says he's rooting for the underdogs. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to say who you're rocking with this one. You got the underdogs in Galactic or the 1 seed in SG? I know Swish definitely wants this comeback story, as if you weren't around last season, his team made it to the grand finals, and then both of his starter and his substitute could not play, so they had to play with an emergency sub where they barely lost to tier 1 in game 7. And so Switch would love this sort of comeback story for himself, as he was denied that chip last year. And Zohan will make a good save here, but we got to see the SG offense get going. It was a bit absent last week versus tier 1. So going to have to see some more out of the entire team. And there is the team play from SG, as Swish with a nice little air dribble over to Fluffy, who will put them within 1. Galactic have come out strong, but it feels like a matter of time until SG heat up. As once this team gets going, they sometimes look damn near unstoppable. And for the side of Galactic, you got to get going, and you got to get going fast. You want to take an early game or two while SG are not fully into it, and and then you run with it. Although SG, they can get going within a game. That's the thing. Swish never starts off slow. And for his teammates, sometimes just a little kick in the rear and they get going. And they've certainly received a kick in the rear in the form of this 2-goal lead. But, of course, it was cut down to a 1-goal lead as Zohan looking to go through. Zohan gonna almost go all the way through, but Flix, the captain, will keep it out. And obviously, a weird situation for Galactic being back here, but they are back here. You gotta wonder if they've been putting in some training and some practice ever since that loss. Same with SG. Now, Swish said that they were going to put in practice during the week as they prepared for this matchup. So you got to wonder, how much practice did they put in? We have Bolton in the chat, Galactic sub. Bolt, hope you're doing well, homie. As right now, your boys are doing well as they're up 2-1. But Swish looking to go through the skies. There's nobody looking to shut him down, and he will. And Fluffy has to be called in. We'll send it middle, but they got to be careful not to overcommit. But the defender's taken away. But Flix got back there, and we stay at a 1-goal lead. It looked like SG had found the way through, but it didn't come to fruition, as now and they have to figure it out all over again. And like I said, the big players to watch for me are Fluffy and Nobody, as both of them did not have great series last time around, but Nobody has a goal to his name and is having a great game so far, as Zohan trying to flip it to the middle, but there's going to be no one there to receive it besides Flix, who's going to try to get it past to Nobody, and who will get the shot downfield, but Swish gets the clear. Scrub follow-up. Zohan can't get a touch on it, and Scrub has it back to a 2-goal lead. What a story this would be if Galactic were to win this series. They're 40 seconds away from being 1/3 of the way there. As Flix just looking to burn some clock as Swish looks to make his approach. Awkward ball for Nobody, and Fluffy will be there to capitalize. And just as it went to a 2-goal lead, it's back to a 1-goal lead, as Nobody couldn't quite get the touch that he wanted on it. "30 seconds left. SG have to make their execution, and they gotta make it soon. The question is when. As Swish looking to just bring this downfield. He'll flip it to Fluffy, but Flix is going to be there for the shutdown. Zohan has to make a touch, but it's awkward for him as he couldn't get around it. And Scrub looking to burn out the final seconds will send it netward. And with 3 seconds left, SG, it looks like they may be out of it for game 1, and they will be. Galactic take game 1. Randon dude, welcome in, homie. How you doing? Welcome in to Champions League. We are a mixed rank 3v3 league, Platinum 2 Grand Champ 3, and we are looking for players for Season 3, actually. I need to grab the Discord link and pin it. But we're a mixed rank 3v3 league. It's a draft league with a salary cap. We have some interesting rosters going at it tonight. SG Esports is a GC3, a C3, and a a D3. And for the side of Galactic, it's a GC2, a C3, and a C1. And these two teams, they're fighting for their final life here in playoffs here tonight with a spot in top 4 on the line. Randon, how are you doing today, homie? Welcome in. If you want to play in the league, feel free to join that Discord link. We need new players for Season 3. almost guaranteed you get a roster spot, and you can get the chance to play for professional esports organizations next season, which the draft is in March, late March. And there are weekly games you can partake in, as well as off-season tournaments coming up, so plenty of chances to play. And speaking of wanting to play, Swish's mechanics want to come out to play, but they're not going to get to come through yet. And Swish a whiff on the ball, and that's not what you want to see, but he's going to look to stay aggressive. Zohan trying to put the pressure on. SG starting to swarm, and Galactic low on boost. Got to make a play off the post and away. Zohan flying through the sky, past the switch, double no, Zohan, yes! And SG take the first goal in game 2. Welcome in though, Randon. I hope you're having a great night, homie. We love seeing new people around here. And with that goal, SG have the lead now. And this is the thing for Galactic. Over their past matches in the playoffs, when they went down early, they never really got back into it. So we have to see a different storyline here as Swish air dribbles this through the midfield, opting to take it instead of passing it over to Zohan. But good communications between the teammates made that clear as Zohan passing it back to Swish, but it's going to bounce into the middle, but nobody's going to be the first to the ball. Is Fluffy going to look to take over, but he's not going to be able to get a hand on it, at least not very well, as Zohan trying to shut down Flicks, but it goes right back to him, but Swish will be there to receive. Now, with Zohan running interference, Swish will get it downfield. Scrub got to make a save, and he does, but Zohan's follow-up shot not very good, and this may be a runaway for Galactic. Flicks, double, no! Not a shot you see the man miss often. And this game will stay at 1-0. And you know he wants that one back. Now Flicks looking to bring it downfield. The captain looking to lead his team through the fire and ice, and that they've gone through, the trials and tribulations that they have faced here in playoffs, as Scrub looks to send this long, and Flakes gets the shot, but Swish shuts it down. Fluffy in an awkward position, though, and nobody will sweep it under the rug, as we have a tie game with 2:46 left to go. As we get back into the kickoff, nobody looking to take over, going for the air dribble. We know he can be this mechanical monster, and we all want to see it out of him, as Fluffy will send it downfield, and nobody sends it high, looking to follow it up, but a bit of an awkward touch and an awkward landing on the wall, and Swish is just going to take over as he looks to slice and dice through. Captain versus captain, and Swish wins it. A great job by Swish. He's the highest rated player in the league, and Flicks, hand down, man down, couldn't get up to it. And Zohan now makes the save there. Awkward touch by Fluffy, but this one bouncing to the middle. Flicks is going to be able to receive it. He's going to try to get a light tap. He will get it around Swish, but the first person there will be Fluffy for a nice clear out, or excuse me, Zohan for a nice clear out, as Zohan and Scrub, an interesting battle between them. The Diamond 3 and the Champ 1 going at it for that title of the better low-ranked player who can be more helpful to their team, as this one going bar down, and Flicks has it. Tie game! I'm a little shocked that this one went through, as Swish just barely couldn't get a touch. Oh, and it went off of Fluffy's car. We love to hear that you guys are excited for next season. We've got such exciting and new plans and that we cannot wait to share with you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for that championship stream as it will have the announcements and a little bit of a disconnect. We apologize. I can't do much about the servers. I literally played on Europe all day just fine. And now Scrub gonna look to take it over, but Swish is gonna beat him to the ball, and Fluffy gonna be there first, and now Swish looking for the follow-up, and he's got it! And SG are back in the lead! Nobody, just an awkward position and an accidental backflip, and SG are a minute and 13 seconds away from tying this series. This one. Over Flicks, Fluffy gonna get the chow. He will throw it over Scrub, but he's just gonna be able to take it, and he's gonna get demoed for his efforts in the midfield. Flicks redirect, not gonna really go anywhere but up. And sometimes you don't want the ball going straight up. You want it going straight at the opposing net, and Fluffy with his third of the series. This looks more like the SG Esports that we know and love, and they are looking to play like a more well-organized unit than their last time out against Tier 1. But over on the other side, it's the same story for Galactic. But SG are 44 seconds away from tying this series and making it a best of 3 for who goes to top 4. What a story it would be for Galactic. What a bounce back it would be for SG. But ladies and gentlemen, when you're the 1 seed, it's expected. And Swish knows, and he would not want to lose early, but Flicks has a tying goal with 19 seconds left. And hold on, this one is not over after a beautiful passing play between Scrub and Flicks. Zohan gets a good 50 on the kickoff, but it's over to Flicks, who has the reset, looking to get it past Swish, but he doesn't, and the pinch comes out, but Swish was ready for it. Fluffy dancing around as he puts it on net, not gonna go, and now only a few seconds left for Galactic to make their execute here. Swish will catch it on the back wall, looking for the air dribble, just trying to get it to ground, and it's gonna take 2 to keep it up, and now Flicks is gonna look for a psycho, and will not get it. Fluffy accidentally keeps it up. Scrub puts it high to the skies. Scrub, no, can't keep it up any longer, and it's a tied series. As we get ready to get into the next one, it's all coming down to a best of 3. We go to the Wasteland, where one of these teams are going to be one step closer to having their dreams crushed beneath the sands. And I was just cycling through them randomly. But Swish looks for the reset. He will get it through, but it's not going to be netward. Daniel, welcome in. Daniel, banned. Immediate ban. No 6-7 jokes here. As Scrub accidentally throws this to the back wall. Nobody trying to get around this, but Fluffy will be up. Fluffy double tap, just barely didn't have it. Switch will, however, have the boost in the corner, and look at the Galactic boost totals. They're starting to dwindle until nobody gets this one out, and Flix does grab a 100 pad, and he will grab another in the corner, and that leaves Scrub with nothing. As this one bouncing high, Zohan passing it down to Swish, and Scrub got Swish off of it for a moment, and that'll be enough as Scrub taking out Zohan. And that's something we really haven't seen any of out of these teams. It's not really their style to play a physical demo game, but you gotta wonder if they'll look to incorporate it later in the playoffs when you face teams like Tier 1, LSV, and Most Hated, who like to demo. But Swish gonna collect this one, and now he looks to dribble this through. He will not be able to get anything out of it, though, as Demo's starting to come in, but a miscommunication between Swish and Fluffy. Pass back to Zohan. Zohan and Fluffy are both up, as Zohan gets the touchdown. Is anyone there for the follow? No. Swish is just going to elect to turn off of it as there is no shooting opportunity. As Flix looks to take over, and Swish trying to get this one netward. It's been all SG all game so far, but not a goal to show for it. As this one pass to the middle. Fluffy, 1 versus 1 versus nobody. And this will go the way of nobody, as he will get the save out. Zohan looking to follow up and play support. But it's going to be Flix taking over, looking for a reset, and he'll get it sent downfield. But Fluffy hits it to the middle, and that one's only to nobody, whose shot is going to be blocked away by Swish, and we remain tied. Galactic are starting to gain ground, and they've gotten close with some of their opportunities, but no dice just yet. As Fluffy air dribbles this through, not going to really have the boost to follow it up. But Swish looking for the fake out, and he's got it! Swish gonna look to take over this one. Not gonna go in his favor though, as Fluffy looks to send this one downfield. It's gonna be blocked away by Scrub, and Zohan looking to get the pass. Not really gonna be able to get anything out of it though, as Fluffy looks to send it to the middle, but not gonna have someone there. Mr. Brightside, welcome in. There's a pass, and what a beauty from nobody. A great passing play between Galactic. And now we have a tie game yet again in this back and forth series between the 1 seed and the 3 seed, as Flix looks to stop this one in his tracks. Nobody gonna have to be called in to get it, and Zohan has to make a touch, and he will. 1:10 left, and pressure's gonna start to amount, as this is the swing game in the best of 3, as both teams took each game in the first 2. And Zohan gonna look to make a turn on it and throw it high. Swish looking for the follow-up. It's gonna be off the back wall, but Zohan wasn't in a good enough position to get it, as Fluffy will be able to get it. And nobody. And goes in a bit too deep, but he has Scrub in the rear, who passes it out to Flix, but Swish does get an important touch on it to keep it away. And you can see now these teams just fighting for midfield possession until Swish shoots a shot off the crossbar, and Fluffy missed the follow-up. And we stay tied at 1. And that's also a team bump right there. Scrub, skyward. It bounces high. Nobody trying to get a pass back to Flix, who's up, but Fluffy shuts it down. And now Zohan with the clear. And ladies and gentlemen, we may have overtime on the cards if this one can stay tied for 10 more seconds, but neither of these teams want that as Flix doubles it! Flix puts Galactic in the lead with 6 seconds remaining. And in the waning moments of Game 3, Galactic might have just secured a 2-game buffer to look to move on. It's gotta stay up now. Fluffy, air dribble through! He's got it! Fluffy on 0! Tie game and we go to overtime! SG aren't done yet! Overtime here in the wasteland, and one of these teams are gonna have their hopes dashed as Swish looks to get it out of there off of a great save out of Zohan. And Zohan sends it long downfield. Nobody gonna be there for the follow. Remember what's on the line for these teams. Top 4 appearance, and Swish scores! Captain on captain crime again, and Swish just dunks Flix. Galactic now are onto their onto their final life here in Champions League Season 2. This is it! Galactic's final life here in Champions League. They're gonna look to extend it and send it to a Game 3. It's been such a back and forth series that could have gone either way. But the world that we're in is one where SG have the 2-1 lead, and Galactic need to send it to 5 and try to win it there. Zohan gets the 50. Nobody gonna be able to take over, and you gotta watch out if you're Galactic. Their nerves are going to be high, but you cannot start to get in each other's way or bump each other. As Fluffy going to look to take this back, it's gonna be blocked away by Nobody, who looks for the bump on the Swish but isn't able to find it, and everyone's retreating for Galactic. So Swish had a ball free in the midfield, and speaking of a free ball in the midfield, he has another, shoots it on target, but Flix will be there to shut it down. And a nice little bump out of Nobody. Seems like he's the man assigned to keeping Swish in check. Excuse me. As he has been bumping him left and right in this game so far. And you gotta wonder if that's the adaptation Galactic made between games. Start bumping. If you take Swish out of it, you're throwing it to a Champ 3 and a Diamond 3 in order to hold them off. But Zohan gonna go for it and miss it. The thing is, it's Fluffy and Zohan who are the ones on that side. It's a great shot from Swish, is blocked away by Fluffy. Didn't quite see what happened. I think Fluffy bumped the defender and just ended up in the air there, and there was nothing he could do. But he's gonna look for redemption with this flip reset, and SG are in the lead. Now, for Galactic, it gets a lot more nerve-wracking, and you're starting to see nerves come out, but everyone's bumping each other, and Flix will be the benefactor as he runs away with it. We just saw 3 sets of team bumps on one play, and one person got to run away with the ball. Flix it just had an open lane and took it on what you can only chalk up to be a miracle, as Fluffy had ran into Swish. But now the net's wide open, and what happened to the defender? Low boost for the side of Galactic. Scrub went for the corner, and there was no corner to be found, and he was too late getting back. Flix looking for the shot. Gonna be demoed for his efforts. Double demo from SG as Swish looks to have some space, but it's gonna be shut down immediately by Scrub. Bolt, we wish we could have you here, man. I hope college is going well for you. As speaking of going well for you, your team may just have another goal, but Zohan was barely able to get a hand on it and keep it out. Now Flix looking to air dribble it. Fluffy will get a hold of it, and this one is gonna be sent away, but nobody did get the boost from Swish, so Swish is gonna be low here. As you got to keep an eye on those boost numbers for the teams, as they must keep them up, and when they start to dwindle, a team may be in trouble. But Zohan passed back to Fluffy, but not going to come to fruition, as Fluffy did not have the boost to get back to it. Now, Scrub sends it far and away, and Fluffy will take over through the skies, as it's a pass over to Swish. And Scrub will be there to shut it down, as Zohan just trying to dribble this one out, but Swish gonna be here on defense from Flix, but Flix gets a nice double into the middle, but doesn't have a teammate who can get there in time, and Fluffy trying to dribble it through, but Scrub with a nice 50 overhead, follow up, Scrub missed it, he didn't expect both defenders to miss, and that's a great opportunity gone by the wayside for Galactic, and that may be their last. Flix high through the sky looking for the double, gonna be blocked away by Fluffy. 30 seconds remain in this one. Galactic on their final life, and they gotta find a goal, and you gotta go now. Fluffy takes off Flix, nobody looking for it, but he just redirects it towards his own net. So hot shot, bouncing, goal! And SG might have just booked their ticket into the top 4. Bolt, make sure to stick around after the game. We've got some announcements for Season 3 I'm sure you'd like to hear. As Flix trying to get this one netward. 10 seconds left to go for Galactic, but they're running out of time. This one has to go, and it does! Hold on! Galactic might have a little bit of magic left in them from the Cosmos if they can get a goal here. 7 seconds to go. 7 seconds separate Galactic from an exit in a top 6 position. Zohan gets the clear. Ball kept alive. Swish, air dribble. Not the one you want to see on the ball, and it's over. What a series that we just watched, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. A great job by Galactic. And it was close. Every single game was close, but unfortunately, no cigar, as they will be eliminated. And obviously, not where they want to go out. You can see that SG will move on. We're going to see if we have an interview with them. But Bolt, you haven't been around. You wouldn't know some of the new things coming. We're excited to announce next season. If you haven't been keeping up with some of the announcements, checking out Discord, things like that, we're going to have 16 teams, professional esports organizations people can play under, and new competitors, as well as a new format. It's going to be an awesome season. Make sure to sign up, everyone, in with the link in sign up information, as we will have Fluffy being brought in from the side of SG. Fluffy, welcome in. How are you feeling?
Uh, I mean, I was stressed for a little bit, but I'm feeling all right now. Feel a little bit
Fair,
relieved.
fair enough. Now, obviously, you guys had a tough loss to Tier 1. Series didn't go the way you guys wanted it to. I feel like especially didn't see the normal Fluffy performance that we saw from that series, but it was a much different series today for both you and your team. How were you guys able to right the ship here?
I think at the beginning, like our first game, we were kind of like doing the same mistakes that we were at, like with Tier 1. But like I think it was just kind of slowly working and figuring it out as we went on, which is not usually the greatest, but like kind of that is how we kind of figured it out, I think, to be brutally honest.
Fair enough. Now, was there any kind of set game plan going into Galactic?
Honestly, just trying not to do the same stuff as last time. Kind of just, I don't know. I think our comms was a really big issue, as well as like pushing too far up. But like I think we kind of figured that a little bit out as we went on. But no like set game plan. Like we weren't just, yeah.
Fair enough. Now, looking ahead, I'll throw a screen share so that you can see the bracket as well. Looking ahead in playoffs, you guys face Lone Star Velocity, the 4 seed, after they swept Enigma in a close series. Any thoughts, predictions, feelings going into that one?
Uh, I don't remember Lone Star. I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember what that roster looks like. So most likely a dub for SG. So yeah, yeah, to put it
Fair
lightly.
enough. Fluffy, thank you so much for joining us here on the desk today. Congratulations on your win. Hope you have a great night and good luck next week.
Appreciate it. You too.
Thank you. Guys, that was Fluffy from the side of SG Esports. And for Galactic, the story comes to an end after what was definitely an up and down Rocket League season for them. They will be, they will hopefully be back next season. Hopefully, we can see the bounce back from them. And yeah, obviously not where they wanted their run to end. But that'll be it for us here at Champions League. We're gonna go raid one of our new players. And we're gonna raid one of our new players in Champions League who's been helping bring people in. Please make sure to stick around for the raid. It really helps spread the Champions League name and helps support the Rocket League community. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Make sure to keep an eye out tomorrow for some free agent showdowns, and Sunday for the highly anticipated Tier 1 versus Most Hated. That upper final will decide who goes to the grand finals and who has to face the winner of SG and Lone Star Velocity. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Champions League. Take care and have a great night.